Former Cowboys coach Dave Campo thinks the show is invasive, though, and an unnecessary hurdle for McCarthy as he looks to right the ship. Shannon, do you agree with Campo here?
No, it's just another excuse for why they're not going to be good. That has nothing to do with it, Skip. It's not going to... it's hard for me to imagine that because their cameras, they're every day. Well, you film everything anyway, that all of a sudden it affects your blocking, your tackling, your throwing, your catching. That's not going to have anything. The Hard Knocks is not going to be the reason the Cowboys finish 8-9 or 9-8. That won't be the reason. And don't make excuses. I understand that. But you have to understand, Skip, Jerry has always put this in front of winning. Jerry has always wanted more commas than Lombardi trophies. I got no problem with it. I just see it for what it is. So I'm not here to make no excuses to about, well, if this doesn't happen, it's because of Hard Knocks. No. Skip, 10 of the past 12 Hard Knocks teams that improved, they either improved or equaled the win total from the previous year. 6 teams made the playoffs. We did it in the 01, the Bengals in 9-13, the Jets in 2010, 2015 Texans, and the 2020 Rams. So it can be done. Nigga made the playoffs. Being on Hard Knocks, who knew? These teams, it wasn't a distraction. Think about that. Even the Bengals made the playoffs in 29 and 2013. So if they could make it, I don't want to hear nothing the Cowboys got to say about Hard Knocks may or may not inhibit their ability to perform well. Nah, it's going to be because you are what I think you are, which is not very good.
Okay. I got to know Dave Campo pretty to very well when he was an assistant under Jimmy Johnson with the Cowboys.
Right.
And I like Dave Campo a lot, but I never in my wildest imagination dreamed of him as being the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. He became, to me, the ultimate Jerry Jones puppet. The ultimate.
Yes.
Yes, man. And he's a little guy. He played cornerback at Central Connecticut, and then you want to talk about paying dues. He coached at Bridgeport and Pitt and Washington State and Boise State and Oregon State and Weber State and Iowa State and Syracuse before he finally landed with Jimmy in Miami and followed Jimmy, obviously, to Dallas.
Correct.
And somehow he lived to tell and became the head coach.
He became the head coach of the Cowboys.
It's impossible. It's like every time I think of that, I just LOL. Because he was there for 3 years, 3 long years.
Yes.
And they went 5-11 every year. 5-11, 5-11, 5-11. So he goes...
You talk about consistency.
Yes, that's consistency. He went 15-33. Nailed it. And Jerry put up with it because Jerry could do the... He was this little marionette down on the field.
Yep.
So I take with like a billion grains of salt what he's saying here because this is more of a small-minded view of what can happen.
Right.
Where, oh, well, he was terribly distracted by it because he was on pins and needles. Like, am I saying the right thing? Am I doing the right? Is Jerry going to be mad at this or is he going to be mad at that?
Was Hard Knocks there last year when they gave up a franchise worth 473 points?
No.
Were they there last year when they gave up 6,183 points, which was the second most? Only the 1960 season, which was the inaugural season of the Cowboys, did they give up more yards. Was Hard Knocks there then?
No.
So I want to know what was the distraction then.
You mean when Mike McCarthy returned a favor to Mike Nolan, hiring him to be the defensive coordinator when he was not remotely qualified to be?
Yeah.
And that happened?
But that had nothing to do with Hard Knocks.
No, did not.
So now, because you didn't make the playoffs last year, you didn't make the playoffs the year before, there was no Hard Knocks. In the past 2 years, no Hard Knocks. You didn't make the playoffs. Now, if you don't make the playoffs...
There were figurative Hard Knocks, right? Because they took some hard knocks, man.
Yes. You took your lumps. But it had nothing to do with Hard Knocks being there.
Okay.
So don't do that, Skip.
Okay, so I'm going to double down on this. I believe that this team is made for Hard Knocks because I told you that rookie class, that they can talk big.
Yes.
And I think it will work great. That it will light up Hard Knocks, starting with your guy, Micah Parsons, and I got all kinds of rappers and big talkers and potential Richard Shermans. I might even have the Richard Sherman before this is all said and done. He just may be a Dallas Cowboy.
But here's the thing, though. Is Hard Knocks going to highlight those guys, or are they going to focus on Jerry?
I don't know, because Jerry's going to eat up a lot of the footage. I would agree. But I also think Dak's return, Zeke's potential return to greatness, I'll put quotes around it, CeeDee Lamb's emergence, it's like big personalities. It's like every Cowboy's like a little mini theater unto himself, and he's showing his movie in his little mini theater.
Yes.
So to me, this is the kind of of attention that can detonate. It can springboard the Cowboys into having a very good. I believe that Hard Knocks will be a reason this team will go 12 and what would it be, 5? 12
you know good and well y'all not winning no 12 games.
12 and 5.
You're not winning 12 games. You barely won 12 games in 2 seasons.
We will dominate the division.
No,
and
you will not dominate anything. We got cases already put on that.
Yes, we do.
You're finishing 3rd in the division. You like that?
Yep. How many cases do we have on that?
We already got about 5, 6, 7. I don't care.
Well, you will make it 10.
Whatever you want to do.
I feel real good about it.
No, we got 5 that you're not winning the division, and we got another 5 you're going to finish 3rd in the division.
Okay, good. Then I'm good to go. I love that breakfast.
You do
of Champions
realize like Washington and the Giants are better than you, right?
No, they're not better.
They're better than you.
They're not better.
Overall, top to bottom, they're better than you.
I will have the #1 quarterback and #1 offense in the division.
No, you won't.
And my defense cannot help but be better under Dan Quinn. It can't help. It has to be better.
Did you not see your offense on Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
That last time we saw him on national TV.
Okay.
That was embarrassing.
It was an Andy Dalton special.
You like Andy Dalton. I remember you talking about you guys.
Pretty good.
Oh, I remember you came out here. Jenny, you remember this like it was yesterday. He came out here. He did go make 5 Pro Bowls.
Well, he did. Well, you just mentioned the Bengals made the playoffs in, what was it, 2013?
2009 and 2013.
Yeah. And who was that?
Andy Dalton.
Andy Dalton, thank you.
But so in other words, that's my point. It wasn't no distraction. So it's not a distraction.
Yeah, but when the defense is historically bad, even Andy Dalton can't overcome that.
Your team, your players were historically bad. I told you, you signed all those big names. You was geeked too. You was happy. We got this guy. He did go to a Pro Bowl. We got that. He did go to a Pro Bowl. He did do this.
And by midseason, they were all gone.
All gone.
Wiped out.
That was
house cleaned.
Many, many years ago.
Yeah.
They were in the Pro Bowl.
I got this.
No, you don't.
And I can't wait for Hard Knocks because we will be talking about it every Wednesday for how many, is it 4 weeks in a row?
Yep.
Yeah.
But you're going to be upset. They talk about, I can't believe that Mike McCarthy did this. I can't believe Dan Quinn did that. And you're going to be upset. And then Jerry, I can't believe Jerry would say that. Why would you? And then you're going to be all upset again. And you're going to be out.
12 and 5. I'm good.
You're good?
To go. Yep.
I
12
kind
and
of
5.
agree. You might be more upset than happy.